Dramatic evening in the Premier League so far. So as you can see, Arsenal still top at 5 points clear, and they have got a game more than Manchester City just behind them in second place. Well, after that draw, this is where Arsenal are currently in the Premier League table, still top of the table, 5 points clear of Manchester City, but of course have played that game extra and they're still yet to face each other as well, which comes on to the next point of the remaining fixtures. We're finally at that stage of the season now where we can get all of the fixtures onto the same page. But in terms of what's to come compared to Manchester City, how do you see this?
It's all about football's all about timings. You play teams at certain times in the league. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can look down here at West Ham, they're 18th in the league, but that might be their game that they're fighting for survival, or they might have won 5 on the trot and they're middle of the table and they're safe and they're on holiday. You just don't know with the timings of the games. Like, Aston Villa could already be in the top 4, cemented, might be in the Europa final, and they're done. Do you know what I mean? And that game's not as hard as what it looks on paper. So it's difficult. I always look at the next two. Arsenal have got Chelsea and Tottenham. They are 2 very difficult games. More so, no disrespect to Newcastle and Leeds. You take Newcastle and Leeds over Spurs and Chelsea to start with. Yeah,
and I think Mace is exactly right. And I know we're going to go on to another slide in a minute, but the big thing I always go off is past experiences and how teams finish. And we know how Manchester City finish. I know we're going to show something in a minute, but we know how they finish. We know how Pep Guardiola finishes, and this obviously shows what we're talking about now. And he is an absolute monster at finishing strong, Pep Guardiola. And that's what I go off. I go off experiences, and I keep mentioning about Man City being sat at home, but they'll be sat at home now looking at this going, yeah, this is a bit of us. So, yeah, we look at this here and how they finish seasons. It's unbelievable the way they do it. Yeah, this is just points won by both Arsenal and Manchester City of the last 4 Premier League seasons in the last 12 games. Of course, different teams. You can argue whether Manchester City have got the same team as what they've had the last couple of seasons. But when you look at that, you speak about the experience. They're going to need to get this momentum, aren't they? Because they don't want the same thing to happen where City are having such a strong end to the season and Arsenal can't keep up.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in Arsenal's shoes if it happens again. I mean, I was quite shocked with the interview of Arteta then. First time, really, I've seen him not majorly positive. Do you know what I mean? Usually he comes out, we've done this, we've done that, and he's saying, we deserve the hit, we deserve the hit. Instead of coming out and going, we're 5 points clear, as long as we don't get beat by Man City, we go same as them, we win the league. Wasn't like that. I was a bit worried with that interview. He's finding it now and he's thinking, wow, you can only do to the team so much. And when you're watching that, there's something missing. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something missing. And if I had to highlight something, I would highlight what Marnie did to the 3 lads. Madueke, Martinelli, Saka. He brings the ball down and he just literally turns away from them. First half or 7, 9, 10 games ago, they take the ball off him and they're up the pitch and it's a counter-attack. Something's missing. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes if they don't win the league this year, because if they ain't winning the league this year, I remember Patrick Vieira saying before the Man United game when he was on with Roy Keane, he said now or never. And I'm starting to think now. I was very bullish about Arsenal winning the league. That's half scared me tonight.
If you're playing that dressing room tonight and you're looking ahead to the next couple of games, of course, you've got Northern and Derby coming up at the weekend. How important is the reaction now?
It's important for leaders within the dressing room. I know there's a lot of leaders in that dressing room. Bukayo obviously come out and spoke. We've also got Gabriel, Saliba, obviously Odegaard's behind the scenes now as well, being injured. It's about leaders stepping forward, about leaders standing up strong, going in tomorrow, wiping the floor with it, going, right, that's gone now. The next one is the big one, which is a big one for Arsenal. It's absolutely massive. And then after that, there's another big one. So we're talking about 2 massive ones coming up for Arsenal now. And it's important they dust themselves down, they get themselves going, they look at where they went wrong tonight, because I think a lot's gone wrong tonight for Arsenal, and really put it to bed then for Sunday, because, like I said, 2 real big games coming up.
To win this, and tonight didn't go well.
And the numbers are there. They are stark, and it's not good, Glenn, from an Arsenal point of view. In terms of recent weeks, because you look at Arsenal, they've dropped points in 5 of their last 7 games. Yeah. So they've taken 10 from a possible 21. And look, Manchester City are by no means convincing everyone at the moment, but they will take a lot of heart from that result.
Oh, exactly. They've opened the door. It was Arsenal's, a few weeks ago, it was Arsenal's to lose, to give away. And I said the analogy of before going into a golf major, and it doesn't start until the back 9 on a Sunday. Arsenal tonight have just gone into the back nine and they're on the wobble. And that's what happens to guys if they haven't won it in a major, a massive thing, and you've got a really top player behind you that's done it, Man City.
Yeah.
If it's Tiger Woods or Scheffler, you bottle it.
Yeah.
All right, then, let's get a little bit more reaction. We can hear now from Bukayo Saka. He's with Pat Davison.
Arsenal's title hopes were rocked by another heartbreaking collapse as they threw away a 2-goal lead in a chaotic 2-2 draw at bottom-of-the-table Wolverhampton Wanderers on February 18, 2026. Mikel Arteta looked visibly stunned on the touchline as the Gunners conceded a fatal late error in stoppage time, allowing Wolves to snatch a point and keep the Premier League race thrillingly alive. Bukayo Saka, excelling in his experimental central role, headed Arsenal ahead in the 5th minute from Declan Rice's pinpoint cross. Piero Hincapié made it 2-0 in the 56th with a composed finish, seemingly putting the game beyond doubt against the league's worst side. But Hugo Bueno's stunning 61st-minute curler sparked the fight back, before disaster struck in the 94th minute. Teenager Tom Edozie's shot deflected off Riccardo Calafiori for an own goal, sealing the dramatic equalizer amid defensive panic. Arteta was left shell-shocked post-match, admitting the second-half performance fell far below required standards. Extremely disappointed. We didn't perform at the level in any aspect, he said, urging his side to stand up and take responsibility for self-inflicted wounds. Fans on X vented fury, branding it spineless and a classic near-success syndrome, with clips of the late mix-up fueling outrage over sloppy defending. This slip leaves Arsenal 4 points clear at the top, but Manchester City now smell blood. The quadruple dream hangs by a thread, another twist in a season full of drama. Please like and subscribe.